just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap.
Okay, so guys, we are on our way to John Clark. Do you remember this car? Well, the owner of this car is such a cool dude. Some say he is a legend, and the guy just knows so much about Porsche and all things motorsport. So Jason and I are on our way to Comox on Vancouver Island, and we're just gonna hang out with John and his good buddy Dave, and yeah, he's just gonna show us around. He has a huge and a super nice collection of all things Porsche, so we're gonna have a look at that, and we're just gonna turn on the camera, we're gonna walk around, and I am super excited. So I hope you guys will love this video, and I will see you in a few at John's place.
Hi.
My new best friend. How are you? Good to see you, dude.
You too, John. Sorry we're late.
Oh, yeah, like 5 minutes.
Holy shit, we made up some time.
Did you see Dave on the road by any chance?
No.
He was coming up from Nanaimo. I think he's probably just 2 minutes ahead of you.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason was he had built this second. There's a window here, but there's another window underneath it. And they complained. They said, "Well, the rule is you have to have this. You have to have the front. You have to have the doors and the rear window." And he said, "No, no. We have the window. It's just covered. This is for aerodynamics." It was absolutely freaking brilliant. This car did not do well at Le Mans, but its first outing was at Silverstone, and it actually did win. This car won that. But then I've seen it. We saw this at Rennsport. Was it Rennsport? Yeah. Amazing car.
It was in that historical era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
In that
the
row.
other one, the row.
Yeah.
The row of them. Yeah.
But I just think it's absolutely sensational to look at. And, you know, at the time, this is like 1979. This is like 40 years old now. And to me, when I think about Porsche racing cars, these are them, right? From this era. The new ones, you know, with the fin down the back, I can't really relate to it. It could be a Ferrari for all I know, or a Acura, or whatever. They don't identify themselves. This is recognizable in some way as a Porsche car, right?
How long have you guys been into Porsche?
Well, since about
No, go ahead.
Well, since I met you, really.
Yeah.
We started
40 years anyway.
Yeah, at
Really?
least, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then when I always said, John had that 911, the black, and I said, John, whenever you're ready to sell, call me first.
Right. And you did.
And then we
you
did.
took it.
And that, I mean, once you drove that, it was the first time driving a 911 for me back then.
Brilliant.
And it was like, oh,
What a car.
this is so good.
It's neat.
And I had, at that same time when Dave and I first met, I was into 356s. I had 5 of them. And remember this? You had a garage sale. Was it right around now, buddy? It was Indianapolis 500
Here's
time.
all our Ren Sport stuff.
Yeah, Dave will show you this.
Yeah.
It was around the time of the Indy 500. Dave and Sharon had a garage sale. I think you were leaving to go somewhere, maybe Australia.
We were going to Australia then.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had my 356 out on the boulevard for sale for 14 grand.
Yeah.
Nobody even looked
Nobody
at
wanted it.
it. It was absolutely perfect. People walked by and didn't care, and I thought, oh my God, my car.
Oh no.
Anyways, $14,000. And yeah,
And you've had 3 of them.
I have
Yeah.
5 of them.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have 5. The most recent one I actually restored in that garage right there.
Really?
Completely took it apart, redid it,
Oh, but that's a good one now.
and every piece of it was like brand new. Had a new floor pan. We put a brand new interior, all leather. Exterior was the same color as your car, kind of a light ivory. I bought new wheels for it. Had a motor from a 912, so it had 110 horsepower. It just flew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great car. And that car I used with Matt down at Victoria, and they had in their showroom for quite a while, and I traded that car for a Cayman, which is the only car I've ever had, a Porsche that Zoe's, she loved that Cayman I had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
The first time when we first met you, you had that MGA in your basement of that old house, and
Let
how
me know
you
if the
got
glare off
how
my
you got it
forehead
in
will-
You
there.
can come over here, Jason, if you
No,
want.
just let me know if the
Oh, you're
reflection
looking
is
good,
too
man.
much for you.
No, I had Dave's right, no pun intended. I had an MGA for a while, and I've got the model of that in the basement,
Yeah.
which we'll see.
Yeah.
And that was an indulgence after I had. Zoe and I were both teachers, right? And regrettably unable to have children, so we had a bit of extra money, blah blah. And I bought a 356 and restored it. But the deal always was, if we ever bought a house, the car would go so I could pay for the house, which we did. And that house was just 2 over here, as Dave told you earlier. We lived there happily for about 20 years. And after I sold the Porsche, I bought this fully restored MGA, which was fun, but it wasn't my kind of car.
Yeah.
And eventually got back into 356s, a couple of 912s and all that stuff.
Wouldn't you love to have a 356 now?
Oh yeah. Now, our mutual friend Ross Glover, who lives just down the way here, Ross is currently at Sprout Lake. He was invited today. He has a 58 coupe that he bought 40 years ago for nothing. Amazing. They did all the body work and repainted it, but it has still got the original interior.
Nice.
It is pretty nice. It's not comfy, but it's pretty cool to see it. And he's had that car and will not get rid of it. There are about 5 356s in this area. Yeah. One of them being a what do they call those? The Carmen coupes with the funny top. It's like the convertible top, but it's a hard top. There's one of those, and that's owned by a guy named Brad, who runs Joe's Garage just over that away. And then Ross has one, and there's another very nice one with a sunroof, original sunroof. It's kind of painted kind of a burgundy purple. Beautiful shape. It's just been finished. Yeah, it's really nice. So there's a few of them around. They're incredibly rare now, of course. I just got to do you know Trevor of the Porsche Club? You guys might have met Trevor and Sonia.
Yeah, we know them.
Yeah, I probably met them.
I really like Trevor a lot. he's a really,
Bigger guy.
He's a big guy. He's got the beard.
Yeah.
With the beard, yeah.
Yeah.
He was looking at your car too. I think at
There
the
you go.
Panamera.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
our buddy. Anyway, he just sent me something today. He's on to, he wants to buy a 65 911. It's on Bring a Trailer right now. And he wrote me, it's a pretty scruffy looking car. He wrote me to ask me about that. And I said, he said, what's this worth? And I just said, simply a lot of money. Those 65 911s, the first year, collectors want them. More than me. I'm a driver. I don't, I like cars, but I like to drive them too. But they're out there still.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they an expensive car to restore?
No, remarkably not.
Yeah.
Parts are easy to get.
Yeah.
This car needs an interior, and I said to Trevor, you should do the brakes, the engine, and the electricals, make sure it all functions, and I'd redo the interior for sure, but I would leave the exterior looking scruffy. Yeah,
Nice
it would really be neat,
yeah.
You could drive around with a patinaed car. Huh?
Not worry about it as much.
Yeah, I'd say so. There was a guy, I know I'm talking a lot, I'm going to do that, okay? There was a guy up here back in October who showed up at the Porsche Coffee and Cars here for the first time. He lives just south of town in Ships Point. 65 911. He drove it in, and we got to talking. He says, I'm going to sell this. I said, really? Yeah. And he said, but I don't know what it's worth. And I went, oh my God. And so I mistakenly brought him back here. We got on the internet and he started to see the value of these things, which who knows what I could have got it for. But he still has it. It's a 65 just south of town here. But it'd be nice to have one of these babies, and a new one. This, by the way, this is the first Porsche ever to race at Le Mans, 1951. Right. We saw it, didn't we, Dave? This is an interesting story with this car. It's got spats on it. It had 1200cc engine. It didn't go terribly fast, but it did win its class at Le Mans, this very car.
Now, is this the car that Rod Emery restored?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know the story?
Yeah.
This car had been owned by a guy in California who cut the top off it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he drove it as a roadster. There's many pictures of it at Laguna Seca and stuff. And it was finally determined this was the very car. So they took it to Emery. And
So much research went into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did all the body work to take it back to what it was in those days. I just had to have it. I just think, this is the roots of everything right here, right? And then this one, this is a treasure. It's a 550 Spider. Just feel the weight of that.
Solid, eh? Yeah.
Yes, I didn't even notice this. It's got a lovely red steering wheel. My God, I hadn't noticed that before.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah,
And I know.
and the strap.
They
And
had
all
cut
the-
up this to look like that. Like this was.
Well,
cut
that's
up
it.
Like that. Yeah.
That is exactly right. And it was painted red. This thing was red for ages.
So just
Does it open?
It opened. The
Oh
hood
my
opened.
God. Well,
And
let's go in
the-
the engine.
And we got the
Wow, the leather straps.
The leather straps in there.
Surprise!
And here's the next one for you. They had to have a spare tire. This car has a spare tire somewhere. Exactly.
It's
If you
on
go
it.
to Le Mans, you have to have a spare tire in your car somewhere. It's part of the regulations. Anyway, there is the spare tire, and it's got the twin cam motor. You can see it in here. Oh, this is a pretty cool model, all right. I didn't even realize that.
All the
And
cool-
it's got all the
Have to go play
drilling.
with them some more, John.
Yeah, I know.
It's very,
Very,
detailed.
very detailed. Exact. Did this come up,
Oh,
Dave?
from the front.
No, does it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So there we have the engine, the straps. Oh my God, man. It's pretty cool. And one of the reasons I love this, Fletcher Aviation had business with Porsche. They, with the air-cooled motor in their airplanes.
Yep.
And my friend Malcolm's last name is Fletcher, so
Cool.
Where did you find that model?
oh gosh, I think I bought that at Rensport 6 or 7 years back. Eh? Yeah. But
I saw one in the flesh
one of these?
a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
550 Spider.
Was it a real one, you
A
think?
real one. Yeah, it was a real one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Holland.
In Holland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. No, I just think there's nothing like these cars. you know, they've got Ferraris. They have a certain attraction for sure. I couldn't drive one. There's a certain attitude about Ferraris that I don't particularly favor. But these cars are phenomenal, and they're approachable. All the rest of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were approachable until I took a stab at buying them. And then it's like, you know, this was fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And I started learning about them, and
Yeah.
you know, just how the
It's
the
such a culture.
engineering and the thought behind it.
Yeah.
You know.
How is your relationship with the guys at Porsche Center Victoria? You liking all of them down there?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't say enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good to hear that.
Yeah.
Who was your sales rep?
Well, Matt, I dealt with on the 50th, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
eventually I just became quite good friends with Adam.
Yeah.
Adam
Yeah.
Ma.
Adam Lee. I met Adam Ma for the first time when I picked up the Panamera. But Adam, honestly, my fear was always, you know, I don't want to take a stab at buying one of these cars and then get shut down because, you know, financially it's intimidating.
Yep.
So then, having gotten to know Adam, and in the past year we've done 4 vehicles together. You know, you phone Adam, they know you, they know your finances, and it's painless.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I
And
think you had the similar experience with your car.
But with the 911, I had that for a while.
Yeah, Dave had
But
a
then, we
4S, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, the 4S I got that at Wysack, but going back, we decided we needed a second vehicle looking for an SUV type of car, and we tried them all, you know, and then I just get on to the Auto Trader, and there's this Auburn Cayenne, and that was
That's right.
a 2011, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
only had
You had-
17,000 kilometers.
Yeah, you had
on
that
it,
for a while.
and I thought, no, pardon me, we only had 10,000 kilometers on it.
Yeah.
And I called him up and I spoke to Matt, and I said, "Is this a typo? Not 100,000, but 10,000?" He said, "Yeah, no, it's 10,000." So we got to go have a look at this because the price was right. It went down. Turned out it came from Edmonton, and this real chocolatey looking, this color, you know,
nice.
and it was owned by this guy in Edmonton that had the restaurant called Death by Chocolate.
No way.
And he would drive it from home, park it in front of the restaurant,
Yeah.
and he'd never drive it anywhere. And he had said that he traded it in on a Ferrari, and so they saw it and brought it out
Yeah.
to Victoria,
Yeah.
and it only just got there, and we took it for a drive. Sharon thought originally was all, it's going to be the Cayenne's too big. Not at all.
No.
As soon as you drove it, just 3 blocks down the road, and she goes, yeah. So
Doesn't work.
we got
Wasn't
that.
right.
And Matt was our, so then when it came time to look at this, I ended up specifically going with Tyson because Tyson was part of the club and he kind of did the performance stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he
Out of the track.
We kind of got to know each other that
Is
way.
he
and it
still
kinda,
there, Tyson Johnson?
No, they moved him over to
Mercedes.
Mercedes
Yeah.
for the AMG side of it.
I went to see Bill
Yeah.
a month ago to
Yeah.
talk about his GT3 story
Oh,
for
yeah.
the newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, so Tyson was our rep, but Matt is still there and still friendly, and he knows. You know, so anyways, we came down to do the deal on this. I knew the Cayenne needed work, and I also knew my 911 needed work.
Yeah.
But I took the 911 down to get the work done anyways, what I wanted done.
Sure.
And then when we started to show interest in doing the Taycan, Tyson had a chat with the service guy, the service manager, Scott Murley
yeah.
at the time.
Not Steve.
Oh, and Steve.
And Steve. Love Steve.
They came back and I said, you know, there's about 9-10 grand worth of work to do on your 911. Where there was a few. It was all electrical stuff. It was nothing mechanical. And they said, what if we we'll talk about this offer, do the trade on the Taycan.
Excuse me.
And won't worry about the work to be done. This is the price. Plus, we made a deal that if they could sell it for a certain price, like we made what the number was, the magic number, but if we sell it for this, we'll split the difference with you.
That's fair.
And they did.
Wow.
You typically don't get that offer at a GM.
No.
do
No,
they-
you don't.
And they
Absolutely
put,
right,
and they put it
Jason.
in writing on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Taycan offer.
Yeah.
There's another thing to remember. I had been interested. I went to a frenzy about a month ago about the Cayman GT4 RS. I thought I gotta have one.
That's a nice car.
It is a really the RS. Anything with R and S in it has got to be great. I was really tempted, but you can't get them and all this stuff. And then somebody pointed out the fact that if you bought one in the States, let's say they're $200,000 in the States, you go to a dealership, you're going to be paying more than $300.
Yes.
Because they are allowed to charge in
Yeah.
excess of retail.
Yeah.
Here, the price is the price.
That's what you get,
Which is
yeah.
what I really like. You know,
Yeah, the number of times on the Taycan forum, the guys are talking about they go back, they go to their dealer in the States, and they say, "Oh, your Taycan's this much now." What?
Right.
They're-
Well, there's
they're-
another guy. The guy was on a drive I saw last year. You guys would have loved his car. It was a black GT3 RS. Oh. We got to talking. It was a Coulson, I think, of the golf
yeah.
course and the airplane fame over your way in Sprout Lake. And I got bold. I said, "Well, what did you pay for this thing?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you, I can't really tell you how much exactly, but he bought it from Porsche Center, Vancouver. He gets a phone call every other week from the guy who sold it to him saying, "You want to sell it back? I can get you another $20,000 for it," because it's just going like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about those RSs. They just, and it's like your car, Jason. That is a keeper, dude.
Yeah.
Those are very, they come out with these things and blow your mind. And talking about that, I was just with a buddy the other day, Dennis. He's an old English car guy, and he's just bought a new electric car. And we got to talking, and I know the Cayman and the Boxster are going electric next year, I think it is. Porsche has this thing, when they come to the end of the line, they really put out something fabulous.
Yeah.
And that is what happened with the GT3 4 RS. They brought out a bombshell. That thing's 480 horsepower. It's the engine out of a GT3, for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
You know, and those cars, they become very collectible.
The 911 ST would be another example.
That's another one. Yeah, yeah, it's quite amazing.
Did you-
Go ahead,
sorry.
Dave.
Did you get the PPF or the ceramic done on your car?
Yeah, both. I'm the second owner of it.
Yeah.
It had, I think the front end had it already, but we put it on the rest.
Yeah.
And then we did ceramic as well.
Yeah, I had mine done at Renison.
Yeah,
that-
Chris is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, unreal.
You know him?
Yeah,
Renison?
yeah.
Is down in Victoria?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did the original on the Cayenne I had, and as it started to fade away, we decided to have a look, and we peeled off the old stuff. The old stuff had been on that thing almost for 10 years.
Yeah.
And the paint was absolutely perfect.
Nice,
kidding?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little spot
Yeah.
that on this one, not from Chris, what he did is fantastic, but I mean the car's 9 years old now, so
Yeah, it's
down
amazing.
on
It's
the
great.
underside of the front bumper is just a little lip where it's probably rolled back over time and it's just collected some dust. So I just want to, it bugs me to see the
Yeah.
darkness there.
Yeah.
So, but that's other than that, it really it just
It's
it-
a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's neat.
I don't mean to throw out any false compliments, but it is a beauty. It
But
really is.
I just, for that to have been the first one that I took a stab at buying, and the fact that I got it in hindsight, that's very
Brilliant.
fortunate.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, very
But going back to that time, there were other ones that I was interested in, and to speak to how Victoria Porsche has been to deal with, there were cars that I showed interest in that they didn't feel was the right purchase at the time for me.
kidding.
So they
They
push you
advised
away
you
from
that
that.
way?
Yeah, don't do that. That's not the right one. Maybe it's overpriced. This is a good way to go. So, they educate you along the way, and
star goes a little higher.
totally. Yeah, I can't say enough. Yeah. So they're
That
good
is so
people.
good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one more before perhaps we go inside. I have a buddy here locally who's my investment advisor, who's a terrific human being and a really good guy. And I got him going on Porsches, right? But he is
It's a slippery slope.
It is, and he used to come over here. We'd talk cars all the time. I would also say this was an influence in the purchase. He has an absolutely gorgeous wife. She's very, very pretty.
Yeah.
So he wanted a convertible.
We can edit that out of the video.
You
Yeah,
have
we can
to.
do
Yeah,
that.
don't let him see that. Anyway, he had to have a convertible. He wanted a cab. So he went down to Victoria, and it was about 5 or 6 years ago. He's got a 2016 black Carrera S Cabriolet. It's very nice. And like you guys, he went at the right time. He went there in early November in a rainstorm when he knew they don't want convertibles sitting around their frickin' lot.
Sure.
And he got a bloody bargain, I'm telling you. I think he paid 60 for it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous car. All leather, it's got Burmeister system.
Nice.
But you just have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to me. I bought a roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
Did
that.
you ever see that car?
Yes, like, well, usually what happens
Oh,
is
my
John
God.
buys the car, or gets it over from brings it over from Vancouver on the ferry, and then he stops at my place for.
Yeah, did I bring it to your
You
place?
did.
Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
could hear it coming.
It was an amazing car, and
Yeah.
I traded a car for it. This is Vishak, guys I won't deal with anymore. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, well, those couple of guys are gone now.
Yeah,
so
true,
that's-
I guess. And Paul Rosmo, who's part of our club, he's the historic car director.
classic.
He's a very nice human being. I bought a car from him 50 years ago. Anyway, I showed up at Vishak with, I could show you the pictures, this amazing car I had built by Cletus and Peter, two super guys. Were you here for that when they brought that car here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They brought it in a trailer. I had a big party here. We had champagne.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
They brought it down below, and it was all in this trailer. And I'm waiting for this. It was an RS clone I'd had built. Jerry Seinfeld has a black 911 RSR with yellow graphics, and I wanted one just like it. So they built this one just like it. You'll see, I can show you pictures. It's a gorgeous car. However, oh yeah, and then we all went down when they arrived. They tooted the horn, went down onto the street. They pulled the back down. It was the first time I saw this thing. They just backed it out. Just took my breath away, really. However, Zoe and I were off to Greece for 3 months and parked it in here and came back and for some reason decided it was too noisy. So I took it immediately thinking, well, it's only got 50 miles on it. Better get rid of it before it gets a lot of miles. So I took it into Vishak, and they were just like this. Whoosh, come on in. We have a car for you. And he says, what do you want to do with yours? I said, well, I want to trade it. He said, fine, I got one for you. And it was this roof. Freaking cool car, really cool car. They have, Vishak seems to have some kind of agreement with Roof over in Germany that they are the Western Canada agents for selling them and modifying cars. However, on the drive up here, yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
On the drive up here after I left Dave, all the instruments went completely south. I couldn't see anything, nothing worked.
Yeah.
And then I went back to their website. We do a 100-point check and everything that leaves here is perfect. I thought, frick, are you kidding me? They got no electrical system, this thing's done. So I phoned him up. He said, well, look, don't panic. I'll bring up a trailer and we'll put it on a flat deck, take it down to Victoria, they'll fix it. So then the story gets better. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
So this guy comes with a flat deck. He got the flat deck here and the thing is down like this, right?
This thing's got that much clearance.
Right. So he's asking me to drive up here when I'm looking at his sky all the way. And he says, well, let's give it a bit more gas. We'll get it up onto the flat part, which I did. Drove ahead and rammed the front of the car right into his winch.
Oh no.
And it has all carbon fiber at the front. And I went, holy crap. And I said to this guy, did I just hit the front of this thing? He said, well, let me take a look. Yeah. Carbon fiber everywhere. The front splitter was all done and the rest of it. And I was gobsmacked. And the guy that owned the company actually is in the Porsche Club. He lives down in Nanaimo.
Is that Hubert's company?
Yeah,
Is that-
that's
yeah,
him.
HH.
Yeah. Does he still have his Porsche?
Yeah, GT3.
Yeah, that's what, the
RS.
white one, is it?
Silver.
Silver, yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
So we got into this discussion, and he agreed that he'd be 50% responsible. However, in talking about that with ICBC, The lady just said to me,
They're a pain in the butt.
well, listen, she said, who was driving the car? I said, I was. Your problem. You were driving, it's your problem. You're in control of the car. I said, what? I didn't, doesn't matter. You're the problem. So Hubert and I agreed it was a $7,000 bill to fix this thing. And I don't know what happened next. I think, oh yeah, I know what happened. We needed a new Volvo. So I traded it for a Volvo and $30,000 cash. I don't know where that roof went after that, but what a car.
That was one of the shorter
It was,
trips
it
you've
was,
had.
it was amazing. But it was a beautiful car. Oh my God. Fascination.
And is your home similar in taste?
Sorry?
Is your home similar?
Nowhere.
No. For the first time here, Mark,
I have a few pictures of airplanes.
we start to get into the
I mean, this just doesn't happen.
into the basement. Yeah, this is the Molson Indy Race, Vancouver, 1991, and that is in the middle.
I remember.
This is supposed to be Michael Andretti. This is Bobby Rahal, and I think that's Al Unser Jr. But I used to go there as a media photographer, and I had to have that just to remember my time there as a photographer. I love it. I wish it would. Zoe has this thing, Dave knows, no car stuff above the basement. It doesn't get up there, it stays down.
Yeah, I know. That's like me with airplane stuff. I can't have it in the kitchen or the living room. It's got to be in the rec room.
And this one, this is pretty cool. This is Michael Andretti's car, 1991, his winning IndyCar, and it's really beautiful model. Thanks, Dave.
You can
Yeah,
do your
1991. There are 5 copies of that in the world. Paul Newman had one, Carl Haas had one, Michael and Mario had one, and I have one, and that's it. They're it's a 1/12 scale, and actually these are built by a guy who lives in Abbotsford, believe it or not. Yep.
Is this gas?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I love the brick. I want a brick. I want a brick house.
Well, the there you go.
Oh,
Jason, look at this.
Wow.
It's
look at the hood.
I'm glad you guys like it. I really am.
This is so cool. Can't get enough.
Yeah.
I remember that cabinet getting built.
Yeah, you do, Me too. When we first moved here, I wanted a chance to display all my stuff. So get this, the guy built this as one piece, and we brought it in upside down and backwards very slowly, got to about here, and then he flipped it. And the next day he came back and wired it up and put all the stuff in, so I would have a place to display my precious models. I know, I love it. And I did this deliberately. I've only recently, because you guys would come and I kind of cleaned it up a bit. But this is mostly Porsche stuff in here. Here you go with your deck.
Yeah, the Rothman.
Here you go. Yeah.
And the 959.
Yeah, exactly. 959, 961, and the Dakar Rally car. And there, over there, that's an interesting one. That photograph, I got that from Porsche, the one at the top. And that is, actually, this is really interesting. The guy driving that is named Kees Nierop. He lives in Kamloops. He's a friend of Paul Rosmos. And that car, I don't know if that's at Le Mans or not, but he was drafted at the last minute. He was going to drive a 962. They drafted him to drive that car. You don't know this story, do you? He was going down the Mulsanne Straight at the end. At the end of it, there's a big bank to the right. He downshifted from 6th and hit 2nd gear. The whole back end locked up. He lost it and went into a rail and caught on fire. So he's quite famous or infamous in local Porsche stories because he basically destroyed that very expensive car. But this is, the 959. I've never liked the look of them myself. And this was the 961, which was a very modest variation of that car. Sorry there, Mark. Yeah. And then here you have Jägermeisters, these ones. Yeah. And this is also the Interscope Porsches, Danny on Gaius. Over there with the zero picture. Right. Yeah, that's the car. Yeah. I got that autographed by the guy that owns it. And down below, down below is at Sebring. That's a guy named Preston Henn driving that car. Fabulous stuff. And these are Porsche posters, many of them. This one here is by a guy named Randy Owens. This is I love this picture. Yeah, it's really brilliant color, huh? There's a lovely feeling to it. At Le Mans back, I don't know what the year was. This is 962, probably 30 years ago, I suppose. And then it's funny about these lights with this. They kick on and off. Need a guy like you, Davey, to come in. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like the...
I know, Pink Pig. Yeah, I got that at Rensport. That's the gear shift knob off a 917, right?
Yeah. And this is nice.
I know, man. You like that one? Yeah, I can tell.
That's a good one. Well, I mean, especially now with the new Dakars, right? With the rough roads.
I love this Dakar shit.
Yeah.
And this was very rare, right there. They call that the naked girl. There's not more than 50 of those in the world. They raced that at Le Mans like that, and I just had to have it because it's so unusual, right?
Yeah.
Then I had a couple of Mustangs and the 935s, of course.
I had that one too.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
Dave.
Oh, you put it out for me.
It's always there. It's always there. That's your plane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them.
I know. And then my fascination with Niki Lauda.
Yeah.
I have probably 30 more of these statues. Yeah, they go back to the 1930s, all the drivers, but Enzo Ferrari, Niki, and Jimmy Clark, the amazing champion from 1960s. And I have a few of Niki's cars here, these ones, Jimmy Clark's cars in here. Yeah. And I don't know if that darn light will work again. Come on, baby. Anyway, these ones are all nice too. This is a world record land speed boat here. And darn it, anyway, these are auto unions. And you know the Mercedes-Benz Transporter, Dave? Yeah. This one. Oh, Jason, feel the weight of that. Feel the weight of that thing.
That's crazy.
I know, man. And this is a four-wheel drive Auto Union 1937, driven by Nuvolari, I believe. So this
Pretty
one's
early Quattro.
yeah, and exactly. This one's really interesting. Quite a rare model. My favorite car of all time. We'll go over here with this. I know. Look at this.
That truck.
I know, man. This was designed by. There's only one of these. Designed by the Mercedes-Benz racing team, and they modified it, and then put on the back the amazing W196. This is one of my favorite cars. This one, driven by Fangio. This thing's amazing, and they come together as a package.
That would take some practice to get used to turning that truck.
Oh God, yeah. It's kind of like a gimbal here, eh? To turn this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But I love that one. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And matching that is this.
It's amazing that John's memory and knowledge of it.
Totally.
Oh, I never forget this shit. This is really cool. This one is hand signed by Sterling Moss. I know. Put it here, Mark, so you can really see it. And actually, the other one I've got is also signed by Juan Manuel Fangio. Look at the inside of it. Details,
Nice.
the tartan seat
yeah.
and everything, man.
And the steering
I know,
wheel.
it's amazing. And here's the match to it. Both of these are incredibly valuable. Yeah, this one, there you are. Fangio and Sterling Moss have signed the match. This car here was raced at Le Mans, and it had, see the back? It's an air brake. So you step on the brake, and this thing comes up to resist. Yeah, this thing flopped right up. So every time you hit the brakes, this thing would pop up and give it some resistance. But they're basically the same car. This one was the car that Sterling Moss raced in the Targa Florio, a time never to be beaten. He raced the whole thing in a very quick time. And this is a Le Mans racer later. Amazing, huh? Those two. I'm very proud of those two. Love them. But since you got the machine going, this is worth seeing at the same time. This one, bigger scale, but this is a 1930s Auto Union, so that'd be your Mercedes-Benz company, right? And I don't know, them open up. Yeah, it does. Look at that. Look at that. Holy crap. That's a V12 engine. Oh, turbocharged. Complete. Look at this,
Look
Mark.
where the supercharger lays.
I know,
Is that
and
the
look.
supercharger?
Yeah, and look at. I think so. Look at the suspension components at the back. Amazing, and probably the hood comes off at the front. Let's just see there. Yep.
Wow.
All the details is incredible. I know, it's just remarkable. And this is a company called CMC. These guys build the nicest models you've ever seen in your life. These are no longer available. You can't buy these anymore. But given my sincere interest in this stuff, just had to have it. These things were really fast too. Let's be clear. These are like 200-mile-per-hour cars back,
Wow.
in the 1930s. This one. These things didn't go that fast, but this Formula One deal did. And it was a rear engine. Very, very kind of a breakthrough car.
Had to have some balls to do 200 on those tires.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah, and I do love this too. I have two of these transporters. The 1/43rd scale, early Ferrari stuff.
Yeah.
This one, and then there's the red one that I got set up as a transporter there. Yeah. And then we get into Nicky's car. This handmade model of Nicky's Formula One car here. And this guy too. And these ones are basically Indianapolis stuff here. Where are they? Down below.
Down below,
The
yeah.
lights aren't working again. Anyway, those are all Indianapolis race cars. This is one of my favorites. This is the amazing, actually. They went to a rear engine. Before this, it was the Roadster. The Indy Roadsters were all front engine deals. And then in around 1969, 70, they decided to go to rear engine. And this is one that absolutely blows my mind. It's so beautiful. Interesting. You notice this? The offset. Because the car only goes one direction.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
This is wider to take those turns.
right.
So they got this wider here than they have here, to make it to make it go to the.
And
I
that
guess
was-
it's the left turn.
And that was legal.
Yeah. But I just love the look of this thing. It's so delicate, and to go with that, I have Dan Gurney. Some people call this the most beautiful Formula One car ever made. This is Dan Gurney's Eagle. He raced this in Formula One and won at the Belgian Grand Prix, only time it ever ran. But it's got this amazing shark nose to it. Yeah, and it was quite an amazing car, this one here. This did not race at Indianapolis, but this one, of course, did. This is an Indy car. And here we have, this is actually Dan Gurney.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Driving the only Formula One victory Porsche ever had. And that's the Porsche race car that won, again, I think it was in Belgium, or maybe whatever that says, France?
Yeah, France.
Yeah.
Grand Prix of France.
Right, so
Of
it's
France.
signed by him there. And these ones,
Posters are
these are cool. I know. I love these old vintage posters.
How long have you had them?
40 years.
Really?
Yeah, they're worth a ton of money now. Yeah, you can't get this kind of stuff. This one here, Paul Newman, Grand Prix, very famous. And then I love these. A little death each day, a little love every night. They're amazing, these B-grade things.
And
right?
but those are all yours.
Yeah, I painted these.
Wow.
These are all my paintings. Yeah.
Wow.
And here, this is kind of fun. Dave, this is, I got this when we were together at the Rensport.
That's right.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
So you would go, I took these over, and all the drivers were sitting down, and I had them all autographed, right? George Fulmer, there's Kees Nierop, the guy that bonked up that car, Jochen Mass. There's Norbert Singer, Jackie Eakes, I've seen him many times. Walter Roller, the guy, the guy that does your Dakar stuff, that's him. So that I had signed when Dave and I were down there,
Yeah.
oh gosh, 8 years ago.
I've got
now.
a few of those flags.
Me too. Yeah.
They were
Well,
good.
they'll do that again.
At the end of the day, they're at the end of the thing. The girls are walking. Oh, God,
Want one of these?
Okay.
In fact, we'll just stay there. My buddy Malcolm was walking around at the end of the time we were there in 2018, and Malcolm went by, like Dave said, we went by, and lady had a stack of these. Yeah, just a stack of them. You want one? Yes, please.
Yeah.
This is from the Rensport.
Oh no way! That's
just handed them
She had a
out.
stack of them.
No.
Yeah. He said, I'll take two. He's got one in his car. He said, Johnny, you want one? I said, yeah. So they got these. They just hand stuff like this out. It's amazing.
That's
And
cool.
they'll probably do it again this year.
Yeah.
That can go on your car. Yeah. So where were
A few more helmets.
These are cool too. Those are the models you showed me.
Yeah. I brought those up because these are up for sale, gentlemen. These ones and the ones I showed you earlier. If you got any interest, you're welcome to make offers on those.
I really like the Fasek one, but it's probably sold.
Which one?
The Fasek. Did you
Flashback
have
Polak?
a- Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
model. Yeah.
I don't have a model of his car,
I like this.
regrettably. I know, isn't that
Right.
nice? Yeah, it's an early. This is made by a company called Kyosho, and I just noticed this discount. That bumper came off, but it can be glued back on, of course. But it's a pretty cool model. Pink
I
Pig.
like that one too.
Yeah,
996.
update. Yeah, in
996
yeah.
is
Update is a
awesome.
Pink Pig. This is the
Very
Interscope car in development before they finalized it. This is rare as hen's teeth.
Yeah,
That's
I know, that's a
that's
really rare
Al
car.
Holbert's car, raced by Holbert P. Feel the weight of that one, man. I know. And this one too. Feel the weight of that.
That's
The 910. Feel that one.
Wow.
I know. I got that.
Look at that. That's
2015.
unreal.
It's
How heavy
when
that
we
is.
I got that. I know. It's amazing. It's amazing. They're just high quality stuff, man. I don't know. The doors open in this? Probably. Anyway, I got this one, Davey, when we were down at the event. Yeah. I
How
had.
much are these, John?
They're very, very expensive. Yeah. I would. It's hard. I don't deal well with money.
Yeah, but you have to be honest.
I know.
This is your passion.
For you guys,
Is this a $1,500 one?
not that bad.
No?
Actually, I did a bit of research on these last night, and I just went to eBay to see what they were selling for. I would sell them to a discount. This one on eBay is currently selling for $180. You could have that for $125 for this one. And what have they got here? The Holbert car there is currently selling for $600, goes for $500. This is $373, $300 somewhere in there. But they're quite, and that one, I don't know, 150 somewhere in there. You know, you can't buy them anymore. They're out of stock and out of production. And you know, I've had to pay for import and
These are
postage and
so
stuff.
detailed.
Feel the weight of this one too.
Oh,
This
it's-
970. Feel that one, Jason. Oh my God, dude.
That's crazy.
I know.
eh?
1971, that thing. And this one and this one are the flippers. When these things, oh my goodness. Didn't notice that before. Oh Lordy.
I'll buy these two.
These are fabulous. These two?
Right here.
Oh, good for you, dude.
And you can have one of them.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
keep the.
No, I'll keep this one, you keep that one.
This is very rare. That one. That's a very rare model, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is made by, I believe, the company. Look at the details, Jason.
I want to buy them just because of your passion for them.
Yeah.
You're very
You know, just to
thoughtful.
have a piece
That's
of
how I ended up with an SC.
Yeah.
Here's another car I owned. I had to have. Yeah, I had this one. Do you remember that, Dave?
Yeah,
You
that's
passed me
the-
the photo.
yeah, I remember that.
Pass me the photo.
Yeah.
That's in the backyard. So I bought this one sight unseen from Chicago because I wanted to have a handmade Mustang, and this is what they call, the H stands for Hertz. It was a rent-a-car,
Yeah.
and they only made 900 of them.
Weekend racers, yeah. You go rent them and
Yeah, exactly. Guys took the motors out of them and swapped them for the ones they had in their car. Yeah, all that stuff. And oh, this is so exciting. So, and you're the best, Dave, for hanging through all this. So this one, I want you to see this picture. This was sent to me by the Porsche company. I just love it. Again, this one's available if you want to buy it. This is a 962 taken, look at that, taken at Le Mans, right? And I just love the blur, the whole thing about it. It just says
exactly.
go, go, go. And when I used to write to Porsche, they would send me the original negatives.
no.
Yeah. They only said, just make sure you send them back. So I went out and had this printed.
Yeah.
And I did this one, and I think I have another one somewhere around here of another car. But it was amazing back in the day, the stuff they would do for you. I would write,
Oh,
you remember me with my writing?
You'd be writing 2-3 letters a day.
Oh yeah, and sending them off, and I never ever had an experience where they didn't write back and say, okay, here you go, we got this, we've got that, and we'll see some of the brochures, I hope. But they're a very generous company and did amazing stuff. And I also have hundreds of posters.
Wow.
I know.
Oh God. Box.
Yeah. Mark, come over here. So this is this is a good set. There's the famous Ayrton Senna with his model from 1989. That's his winning car, a Honda, right? And then the next year, they lost the Honda motors and they went to a Ford Cosworth. This is it here. And that's the year that Michael Andretti was with Ayrton Senna as a partner. And Michael just had no luck at all. And I was actually at the Grand Prix in Germany and saw Michael sitting in his seat, and the guy was going, "It's going to get better, Michael. You're going to make it, man." And actually, the race after that, they fired him and brought in Mika Hakkinen. But that is Michael Andretti's car. That's quite remarkable there. And these ones are Ford GT40 and Ford Cobra. Jackie Stewart in his winning, in his winning Tyrrell. And then here are,
I see.
Can you see these, Jason? These
Brumos.
are, every one of these is handmade. All the ones at the back, and they cover all of the 911s from the 911 RS through to the RSRs. Then they get into the 934s, the 935s. And I love the Brumos livery.
Brumos,
all the
yeah,
Brumos
it's so
cars.
cool.
And there at the end there is the Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah, the one that came out of the factory first, that white one. And then out front we have 356s, V-Dub.
V-Dub, yeah.
This is a very famous car, driven by a guy named John Paul. I saw this car at Westwood, and the deal was at the time when he brought it out, there was no sponsorship on it. People wondered, well, how the hell does he finance it? Can you spell cocaine?
Really?
Yeah. He went to jail over this car. This car, he got into jail. In fact, he shot somebody, and so he's in jail still. His son, John Paul Jr., was an Indianapolis 500 driver and went to Indy and was a very good guy. I met him once. But this car, very famous car.
Isn't that kind of similar to DeLorean's fate?
Exactly. Yeah, and these are, as I say, handmade and painted.
That's
But I had a guy in England who did these for me
Wow.
because I didn't have the talent. Let's see here. And then there's Paul Newman, right here. Le Mans came second, finished second. Paul Newman, and these are variations on the other stuff. And too bad the lights aren't working. These I've had all of my life. These dinky toys.
Dinky toys.
Yeah, I had this since I was 6 or 7. This one, and I have the full set of those, and including, I had to have it. I bought a dinky toy transporter, right, with the box, the original box, dude.
These are really
Aren't those nice?
too.
I know. 911s, the Targa Florio cars.
cool.
I know, man. I wish the damn light would come on for you. Here's another one. This is back when I was teaching.
Oh, no way.
So the kids in my class, let's go over here with this light. So this one,
Yeah.
this is back 2002. I was still teaching then. It's my last class, and I had a Boxster. So the kids all signed the model.
That's right.
And happy, exactly. Happy motoring, Mr. Clark. The last class I ever had.
Cool.
The last day of school. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And this
That's
one.
got some meaning.
This one.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is rare as hen's teeth. Yeah. You know what this is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
BMW, right?
Yeah, the M1.
The M1.
Right.
It's so cool.
This-
Yeah. When you connect or click with,
Come on, baby.
lots of acquaintances. But
Isn't that funny?
you have people that you really click with.
There we go. So,
Oh, I think I remember that car.
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol painted that car. BMW commissioned him. He painted it, the story goes, in 30 minutes. Just went out and slapped that paint on, and that was it. And this car actually raced at Le Mans. After the race was over, the company took it back and repainted it. It's now in their museum. But at one time I had 4 of these, not this one, but the other 3 as well. And that brings up, I sold them about a year ago. And there's a company in Germany called Automobilia Ladenburg, and we agreed that they would sell them. Now these things sell for $1,500 on the internet, and they sold it for, I think it was $800 each. And then I was told I have to mail them to Germany. So to mail one of these to Germany was, I think it was $300. So to send off two of them, $600 to me, and in the end my profit was like $400. And that didn't even cover the cost that I had to buy the thing.
Right.
But these are very rare. This one is very well documented. Again, painted by Andy Warhol. It's an M1, rare as hen's teeth. And I'll just keep it for a while, see what
I
happens.
would hold on to
See
that.
what happens to that. Yeah, it's quite an interesting piece, isn't
That's
it?
very nice.
You guys are pretty good. Your patience is wonderful.
Mark promised a beer at Fatty Bay Inn.
Yeah,
so
sure. There we go.
thank you.
Oh, well, we're all coming back with you. I'm coming in my car. Dave and I can come down.
Where's your offices?
Port Alberni and Courtney.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm up here every other day.
fairly regularly.
Yeah. I know, man, then as Mark is blowing past me in the
Yeah,
90s,
that's nice,
it's
huh?
like, buddy, you're gonna
Just
get
the reaction there.
Well, because that's the same guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He did that one too.
That's correct.
I like this.
I know. So, like all the stitching in here, I love doing stuff like that.
I know.
And getting it all just right.
Is that right?
All the
Actually,
pieces,
they just went on a trip with
all the stuff.
John
This is one of my favorite ones. I even
They were
have,
down for 3 weeks.
this is on the tire, eh? The set, this is from a photograph. That's the temperatures and where they're supposed to put the tire on Nicky's Ferrari, all that stuff.
Nice guy.
I love that one too.
Passionate people too.
And this is actually a Porsche driver. That's Jackie Eakes. I took that again down at Rensport. He was sitting in his car. I just took a picture of him and came back. There's the reflection of everybody looking in at him.
This thing is very
Yeah, sure.
love.
I'm so happy.
All these things.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Lived on a boat.
yeah, you should.
These are
like,
mine.
Chinese.
This is a very nice style.
They went to stay with them in the shop.
This one
That's
too.
cool.
So,
Wow. Yeah, it's a small
you've
world.
seen this?
Oh,
That's the hood of my
That'd
356.
be a good party.
And I was told at the time I was restoring the car, the guy that did the work said, the hood is a mess, you got so
G7.
much rust in
G7
here,
is the name of their
you
club.
should buy, just get
that's-
another
yeah,
hood,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, and they would
And he was
go
going
up
to
and
throw that out. I
get
said,
the
no, no, no,
passports
no,
and
no,
they
no, no,
won't.
no, no.
That's right.
I take it.
Then-
So I painted this as the
then we'll go get in trouble.
356.
Yeah.
And you know what
Also,
those are
they
worth,
play a lot of poker,
right?
too.
Probably.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can easily get $10,000 for that,
That's
if not
cool.
more.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And then I started
I'm
collecting.
always in there how fast John can whip.
So I started to collect old racing trophies. Right? This is 1958, someplace in Sebring. Some guy came second.
Okay.
But can you feel the weight of that?
He's just trying to sell it.
I know. I just love it. Now I didn't win it, but I like it. And I have this one. There's a bunch more down here. Yep.
Whose helmet is that?
That's
Nelson Piquet.
No way.
Yeah, Nelson Piquet. Signed by him. Formula One helmet.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. And I know. Those are. You go back a long time. I got all this stuff for free back in the day. Porsche Club of France. I don't have a 356 anymore. There it is. This is a beauty. Porsche 356 Club of Deutschland. Yeah, it's a lovely one. Yeah. And
I like that too. I saw that.
do you know what those are?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I
the
see.
racetracks.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, are we still doing Suzuka?
Yeah, this year,
Melbourne?
Suzuka.
Still, yeah.
Melbourne's already over.
Melbourne is yeah.
Right? Suzuka,
Montreal.
Monza's next week.
Nice.
Monza's next week. And then they go on to, I don't know, is it Monte Carlo? Yeah, this is Ernie Haywood.
rolling.
I know. So this is him driving the Brumos car. And at the time I bought this, I bought all these. This is from Daytona. Look at that. 28, 2009, 2010, and so on. They'd have been on the uniforms. But I bought this, Dave, at Red Sport, and I think he signed it. Yeah, there it is. Hurley Haywood. And the book's out of production now, but this was how the Brumos guys really first got started, right? That'd be at Daytona. And the story on this is Porsche themselves had not driven the RSR, it had never raced. And he got one of the first ones. They didn't expect it to last, but it won the frickin' race, the whole thing, with this thing all beaten up. And away they went. Yeah, and there was another version of their stuff. So, yeah, pretty cool. And just one more for you. This guy, Peter Gregg. Oh, look at that. Hurley Haywood, got a letter from him. 230. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty nice. Hurley's letter. I kept everything, you know. And Peter Gregg was known as Peter Perfect, this guy. And he was perfect. I remember, this is him. I remember his cars, they were always immaculate, white, the interiors were always clean. He had a professional crew went with him everywhere.
He's the kind of like Jason.
There you
You're
go.
saying,
Yeah, you're a nicer guy than he is. Because I'll tell you what happened. He was the de facto Porsche guy for North America for the racing teams. That was him. They gave him all the stuff. But what happened was, in Jason's car, the 935 K3, the Kremers came out with the bodywork that had the slots on it. And if we go over here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This car has modified, up on the fenders, it's got the lips for the downforce, right? So when that thing's in the air, the front is pushed down. It's the same with the back, right? It was built by the Kremers. And Peter Gregg, didn't have access to this stuff. He was a factory guy. He could not modify his cars, and these things were becoming all conquering. And yeah, there's that. The photograph there shows you quite clearly how the bodywork worked with the fences here and here, and on the back. And he couldn't do this, and he started to lose races. And because he had been all conquering, the guy was stupid. He went out and
Shot himself.
shot himself.
No.
Yeah, on the beach. He was found 2 days later on the
kidding?
beach. He was dead. No. He was so obsessed with being first all the time that when the company came out with this modified car, the Kremer, he couldn't keep up. And so that was the end of him. This is his buddy Hurley Haywood, who's gone on to other things. He now he's retired from Brumos. It's not called Brumos anymore. It's got some of them. They sold it, didn't they? Yeah. Anyway, very wonderful book.
What grade were these kids?
Put together this tour from 1960, and this fellow's Everett Anton Singer. He's quite well known in the Porsche community. This is a limited edition. So this is a tour when people went to pick up their cars at the factory, right? And this is all the guys work on handmade cars back in the day. And yeah, this is another pretty unusual piece of old literature. Yeah. So
See the cover?
yeah, of course. Neat, eh?
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I was trying to. Okay.
Yeah, the cabriolets with plastic to protect the top. Man, you could have had all those for.
So you know what Porsche does now? When you get a VIN,
Go ahead.
once you order your car,
Yeah.
you can log on.
Well, maybe
and watch
Jason
your
could do
car
it.
being built on the.
Did you know that, Jason?
On the
You can watch
production
your
line.
car being
You
built.
can actually see your car get in various stages.
It's to me it doesn't feel real yet, but
It doesn't.
supposedly it's an October-November completion date. So
Next year or this year?
this year.
Oh God.
Have you got a VIN issued yet?
No.
No. Okay. So
No,
once you
we
do
just
that,
sort of began
That's
this process
amazing.
Thursday or Wednesday night.
Okay.
Wednesday night?
So this is early.
Yeah, very early.
Yahoo.
Congratulations.
That was-
man.
Yeah,
don't
that was
know-
Wednesday night.
I don't know if I'm at
yeah.
Yahoo yet. I'm more at the stress level, but we'll see. Eventually, Yahoo will come.
Good stuff. Yeah, so that's cool. It's cool you're getting it wrong.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
Mark, let's just leave this aside.
You'll get the.
Bring out some stuff for you to see.
What they do.
For sure.
Okay.
Trying to remember the title of.
So,
This goes back a long way. This is a photographer named Peter Coltrane. He was a Brit, and he photographed everything. He photographed everything to do with the Ferrari factory and stuff. So these are originals, signed by him, 1964. That is Sterling Moss at the Targa Florio. I love. There's one in here. I don't even write. These are like the taillights off a 356. I know that much.
That's
904.
And here, look at this.
cool.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There she be, the original.
Yeah.
We saw a clone of this at Rensport.
Yeah,
It was
we did,
black,
yeah.
as I remember.
Look, I've got a picture
Right.
somewhere.
Oh, this is cool. Again, I haven't seen these in ages. Here's Ferry Porsche's
No
autograph.
way.
This is his autograph. Right here. Right there. I wrote him. It was his birthday. I had to have it.
His birthday was yesterday,
Yeah,
or the
well,
day before.
I think this guy's actually dead now, but that's pretty cool. The big cheese, eh? And then this one is him with his father in Mund with the very first ever Porsche of all time. That is the mid-engine, rear-engine, mid-car. And again, we saw this one at Rensport. There's the big guy himself.
This one.
The Professor Porsche. Yeah, that's him.
Started it all.
You did. That's
Yeah.
it right there.
Unbelievable.
I know. And this is Eva. What's her last name? Eva. No, Eva. She was. What is her last name? This is a rally car. She was the president's wife of somebody.
Eva Perron.
Was it Eva Perron?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Eva Perron. Anyway, look at that work photo. Now that's her rally car. Eva Perron. That's right. I had a model of it at one time.
Do you remember we used to keep photographs like this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, back when people did that. Here we go. Is Dan Gurney.
The suspense when you're filming.
That car, right? There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There.
Have to wait
Yeah.
a week or so. And
Yeah. This is him too.
Wow,
Dan
and it's
Gurney.
all signed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is so.
And that's that car right there. And then this one, this is our trip to Rensport. Magnus Walker signed that one.
No way!
Magnus,
I
there
saw
he
his
is.
picture there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the latest picture.
Picture, yeah.
He'll be there this coming fall. That's him.
Yeah.
He got hooked up with Momo, and he actually had that. I should have bought it. They did a custom steering wheel, Momo, with his signature on it. And he had,
really?
I think there were 200 of them. He had them for sale there for like $200. I didn't buy it, but now they're collector's items. Momo again. Early stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know.
That's
Early
kinda
Bentwood. Window, early one, and then this is kind of trashy stuff actually. These are all taken at Rensport way back when. I don't know the year. And you know what? No, that's not it. But I was thinking that car, you know, the original
yeah.
one was cut down like this. They cut the top off it. Yeah. Nice early one there. Yeah, very pretty. Now that's actually quite a famous car, painted up in the camel livery, and it was a promotional car that they drove around at the track. That one there. And that stuff. And this is the kind of thing they sent me, right? Here's a prototype of a 911 Turbo. I don't know what we got in here. Yeah. But again, there's the negatives. Do you want to make a print? For
Yeah.
God's sakes. And here you are too. This is a 911 Turbo S from back in the day. Oh God. I don't know where you come up with this stuff.
No, there's not a lot of
My
that.
mind
around.
actually. I don't remember. I've got all this crap. Oh, what do we got here? Is that your car, Mark? No, that's a 993.
993, yeah.
Right. Oh, the interior.
Oh, look at that.
They started to go to the Porsche exclusive.
Yeah.
You could order your interior. And that one. And that one.
964.
Yep. Oh my goodness. I have one somewhere of a prototype Le Mans car that they actually never built, but they sent me pictures of it before it was produced. That's over there too. Oh my God. They were at Le Mans as racers, and their car crapped out. That car was right there at the pits, And they went up to Kremer and said, look, we want to buy that car because we went into the race. Kremer sold the car for $200,000. They had the money in a bag, cash. They bought it and they won the fucking race with that car. Yeah, after having just bought the car that day. So that's it. Yeah, it's on the top. It's got Bill and Don Whittington and Klaus and Ludwig, the drivers. But those boys also, they had these airplanes called a Comanche or something. I don't know. Anyway, they owned a race.
Comanches.
There you go.
Vipers, yeah.
Was it twin engine?
Yeah.
Twins?
Yeah, Twin Command.
They owned a racetrack called Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they'd always land their airplanes at Road Atlanta, unload all their dope, and then take the planes and disappear. And they made a frickin' fortune.
Yeah.
However, gentlemen.
Wow. Thank you,
Are
John.
you kidding me?
This is
Well,
so
Oh,
cool.
you're too much.
The paintings are incredible.
The paintings are incredible. Yeah, I love
buddy.
them.
We gotta wrap these up. This again, this is a prototype. It's a very rare piece. Still in its workout and all that. Does this open up? No. But this one's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pink pig variant.
There's a Petrolicious video about the pig.
Pink pig.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a model of the pink pig. You saw I had it.
Yeah,
Actually,
the pig.
The pig.
The actual, yeah, I think I saw it over here.
Yeah. Oh, you see it?
That one over there.
Yeah, good boy. I'm gonna show that to Jason.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tara tolerates me.
Oh, here.
Together, but it's so that's probably.
Oh, that's the one.
There's the MGA. Dave. There it is.
Yep.
The MGA. Same
Yeah.
color,
Yeah.
same top. That's my baby.
That was
Yeah, it was. Until I said no thanks.
Mark, it's probably a good thing that Tara doesn't live at the house because this might push her over the top.
But, I mean, those are
Jeez.
incredible
Look
models.
at another pig.
This
Lots
is
of
the
them.
this is the original. This is another one handmade by this guy, Mantra Models.
Wow.
I said I have to have it. So
That's cool.
pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah.
So that's the original, and then they came out later.
So that's where it
with
started.
That's where it started, and
That's
then
neat.
that's how the other one was done. And I have to tell you, there's a story about this. This car went to Le Mans. That one went to Le Mans in pink, and the guy that Lapine, I think, was the guy. He didn't like it. So the night before the race, they did all these pig cuts and all the rest of it on it, and it went out and was a sensation. Everybody loved it, but it was not supposed to, quote unquote, be. You'll find
Like
out as you
that,
do some
yeah.
research. Yeah,
I mean, if you were
amazing stuff.
if you were a brave man, you'd wrap your new 911 like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there are people like Magnus. He would do that.
Yeah.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna I wanna have turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna I wanna
I'm gonna have these painted.
fun, turn around now. I just wanna now and turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna I wanna turn around, dance, dance, dance. I just wanna I just wanna clap, clap.